G'day guys, kia ora. My name is Wildkard. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here and watching my content. As always, it is my pleasure and privilege to entertain you as we talk about the greatest sport in the world. And you are here today because it's Super Rugby. Round 10, it's the Chiefs, the undefeated Chiefs against the dynasty, the Crusaders in Waikato. And this was in the packed out crowd. Sir Fozzie himself was in attendance watching this, making sure that his minions are performing to his standards going to the Rugby World Cup. And boy, the Chiefs managed to close out the game very strong at the end. And there is a question that Damien McKenzie has left on the table for Sir Fozzie, is Damien McKenzie going to be good enough to start for the All Blacks going to the Rugby World Cup? Or is he going to be on the bench? So, this has been a kind of like an ongoing issue for Damien McKenzie nowadays. He is extremely good, extremely talented. There's absolutely no doubt about that. The finish to this match, the way he just absolutely carved up the Crusaders and set up for the final 2 tries to get the Chiefs, in the driving to send the Chiefs home for the win was just unbelievable, like out of this world. It was the way he's able to rise to the occasion, rise under the pressure, and seize the opportunities, the very few opportunities that this game presented to the Chiefs, and clinch those opportunities and win the match for the Chiefs. Just really, that quality is really extremely rare, and his talent is really just so high to be able to do the things that he does that he showed in this match, right? But then again, why is there concern about Damien McKenzie? His first half performance, just like almost every game this season now, his first half performance has been really subpar, to be fair. His kicking game in the first half was charged down twice, maybe 3 times. And it was very lucky the Chiefs didn't concede any tries out of them, because it was a couple of times where the Chiefs almost conceded a try, and it was like a knock-on leading into the try, the try that has saved the Chiefs from conceding. The kicking game from D-Mac put the Chiefs essentially under more pressure than they were supposed to alleviate pressure, right? So we saw this as well when the Chiefs played against the Blues. D-Mac was looking really kind of like out of his depths a little bit in the first half, and then once again, just like this game, D-Mac just slowly got himself into the game and really started to shine. And really, when he was against Beauden Barrett, he made Beauden Barrett look kind of like ordinary. He showed more better kicking game, better variety, better accuracy out of his kicking game over Beauden Barrett. In this game, Richie Mo'unga is the kind of player in New Zealand known to be like the one that has the best ball handling, the best player being able to find space, create space for players around him, like that, attacking style of number 10. And D-Mac showed that he can do exactly what Richie Mo'unga does, but better. He won the game, set up the last 2 tries with just his amazing, injection of speed whilst carrying the ball and being able to free the offload to set his team through for tries, right? And it's just that talent, both beating Beauden Barrett, who's considered to be one of the best kicking game in the world. I think it was last week or the week before against the Blues. And then in this game, showing that he can run the ball better than Richie Mo'unga in the second half is just, something that really, really special about Damien McKenzie. That's just such an exciting player to watch. But once again, big question mark is how are you going to cope with that first half, the first half, rust that he seems to having every game. How are you going to stop that? How are you going to get him into the game quicker? Because you can't, in a national test match, you can't have him taking 40 minutes to get warmed up, right? So there's something that needs to be done here to get him into the game quicker. But man, when he's in the game, he is absolutely unbelievably good. So with that aside, so the game actually was really, really tightly contested. The points are really difficult to come by. Both teams were kicking penalties. Both teams have missed penalties. D-Mac has missed one, maybe a couple in this game. Richie Mo'unga missed one that's right in front as well for the Crusaders. So yeah, at halftime, the Crusaders actually had more dominance over the Chiefs, and more possession of the ball, and more, attacking from the Chiefs. But the Chiefs just had superb defense and was able to, find their opportunities, the very few opportunities, and turn those opportunities into points, whereas the Crusaders was not able to capitalize on the possession and the run, the opportunity that they had, just lacked, just really not able to crack the Chiefs defense for a very long period of time. I was actually surprised the Chiefs was leading at halftime, despite how much ball that the Crusaders. I think the Chiefs had one visit to the Crusaders 22, and maybe 3 or 4 visits into the Crusaders half, and they were able to come away with points every time they visited it, and then walk away at halftime with a lead. And the Crusaders, on the other hand, was really unlucky. Had a couple tries disallowed in the first half. Like I said, D-Mac got charged down, and then was actually behind in the first half. But in the second half, the Crusaders came back, put in front, and Chiefs just managed, and then D-Mac went, I'm gonna step up, took the next step up, and really pulled the Chiefs ahead, and closed out the game 34 points to 22. So there was another thing that came out of this game. The Crusaders were penalized quite a few times. Joe Moody was penalized a few times for in the scrums for boring in. So again, it's something that sometimes the referee don't penalize. The prop just kind of goes in, loose air prop just goes in on an angle on a tight head, and just try to going on an angle and try to get the tight head to pop out. So yeah, he got penalized a few times on that, and it's something that Gardner really picked up and really nailed him on it. 3 or 4 penalties that was given away because of it. So yeah, something that the Crusaders need to work on that a little bit. When it comes to wheeling the scrum, you need to go forward first before you kind of go sideways. And I think Moody just really got the timing wrong. He just went sideways right away, and then just got himself penalized. But yeah, something that the Crusaders really need to work on a little bit going into the future. So some of the interesting match stats coming this game, Crusaders completely dominated the run meters, 491 to 337. The first half was even more dominant for Crusaders. I don't have the stats, but it would have been 200 run meters to 50 or something against the Chiefs. It was ridiculously one-sided in the first half. Turnovers conceded 12 against the Crusaders, 11 against the Chiefs. Tackles, this is where the Chiefs won the game, essentially. 176 tackles made, only 18 missed tackles. An international test team would envy this sort of tackle completion rate. This is world-class defensive. The Crusaders, on the other hand, 17 missed tackles, but only had to make 79 tackles. So overall, the percentage is still a lot worse than the Chiefs. But yeah, Chiefs, really, that's pretty much the big difference when it came down to in the end, the team was able to pull away with a win. 23 kicks in play for both teams. A couple misses for both sides. D-Mac missed the conversion and a penalty goal. A conversion and a penalty, whereas Mo'unga missed 2 penalties. One of them was really uncharacteristic, right in front as well. It was one they probably shouldn't be missing at all. So both players were struggling with that in the first half a little bit. But overall, I think D-Mac just did a little bit better overall than Richie Mo'unga. The lineouts was quite even overall. I did think that the Chiefs actually forced look a bit, put a lot more pressure on the Crusaders scrum lineouts than the Crusaders were able to put on the Chiefs. But overall, neither team has lost a scrum. Scrummaging, the Crusaders have lost one of their scrum feeds, but it was conceded at least three penalties that was conceded was due to scrummaging because of Joe Moody being penalized for boring in. Full-on penalties too. He got warned by the referee and then continued to do so, and was turned into full-on penalties against Joe Moody. Something that obviously was a bit of a issue at a training, because usually if a player being told not to do something, they will adjust, but he did not adjust, just continued to do it, and was repeatedly giving away the same penalties again and again and again. The Chiefs did have 1 yellow card in the second half, which allowed the Crusaders to score 2 tries during that 10-minute period to catch himself up a bit. But overall, the Chiefs was pretty good overall in discipline as well. So let's have a look at some of the key moments in the match. Both teams kind of come out, and the Crusaders was on the front foot right away. Faianga Nuku gets a massive line break for the Crusaders. He basically, like I said, he made D-Mac look like looking like an amateur essentially. He was 1-on-1 in the defensive line, just completely stepped him back and shrugged him off, and just went straight through. And then he got really close to the try line, and then the Crusaders piled in at the big prop. What's his name? Williams. What's his first name? Tamati Williams bumps himself through for the first try for the Crusaders. 7 points to 0, 5 minutes into the game. The Chiefs is already looking a bit shaky. Following this try was scored. The Crusaders, from the kickoff, Scotty Barrett gets accidentally caught with the ball in an offside position from the kickoff, and then Chiefs immediately gets the opportunity to take 3 points back. 3 points to 7, 6 minutes into the game. There was a nice little kick behind, and about 16 minutes into the game, there was a nice little kick behind. The Crusaders looked like they chased it down and put the ball down for a try, but it was called back for a knock on. So Chiefs got away with that one. There was a couple of those opportunities the Chiefs got away with. So that was the first one where the Chiefs the Crusaders had a try disallowed in the first half. And then a few minutes later, the Chiefs gets a scrum penalty against Joe Moody. They kick another 3 points, 6 points to 7. Another few minutes later, around the 19th minute mark, again, just poor kicking. The Chiefs getting charged down. The Crusaders, the Chiefs getting charged down, and then the Crusaders once again chases down the loose ball. Looks like the Crusaders grounded the ball once again, and it was disallowed once again for a knock on going into the grounding. And then the Crusaders had a penalty advantage going into this because there was just like some poor box kick that caught the Chiefs players offside or something. But then the Crusaders gets a full-on penalty. This was right in front, 35 minutes out, pretty much a gimme. Mo'unga misses this one. So so still 6 points to 7 after 2 disallowed try and a missed penalty against the Crusaders. So this was really painful as a Crusader fan to watch. If you're a Crusader fan, I'm sure you'll be really suffering right now. So 23 minutes in, it looked like the Crusaders once again was just pounding the Chiefs try line. There was like a quick, I think it was, what happened was there was another, I think there was another high ball that was charged. Like basically D-Mac tried to do another kick, gets charged down, the ball went straight up in the air, came down, and one of the Crusaders players looked like he overran the ball, and then eventually the Crusaders recovered. Little good handling, and then a quick ball from a tackle goes to Scotty Barrett, barges himself through for the try. It looked like Crusaders have scored again for the third time this half, and the try was disallowed because apparently when the ball bounced up in the air, everybody was juggling for it. One of the Crusaders touched the ball, and then it was deemed a knock on. And again, this could have been going backwards, could have been deemed backwards by the TMO. Was pretty adamant that this went forward. Chiefs got out of jail once again. No try. Third try disallowed already in the first half against Crusaders. Really, really, really unlucky. 26 minutes again. Joe Moody gets a penalty again in the scrum, going in an angle. Chiefs takes a 3. D-Mac misses this one. So points still 6 points to 7 after so much have happened in 26 minutes, right? 30 minutes is again. Crusaders had a line out, not straight. Chiefs finally gets a chance inside the Crusaders half. This was literally like the first time Chiefs were actually inside the Crusaders half in the first half of the game. The Chiefs piled on some pressure. Crusaders give away a penalty for a high tackle, slipped up high a little bit, and then Chiefs finally gets a penalty kick through. 9 points to 7, takes the lead over the Crusaders 30 minutes into the game. 37 minutes into the game, there was another penalty against the Chiefs for the Crusaders to kick 3 points. And Richie Mo'unga missed again. Yes, again, another missed penalty right in front, 37 minutes in. And then just before halftime, 40 minutes, the Chiefs gets another penalty. They went for the corner. The liner gets botched. They did not. The Crusaders kind of spoils. I think it was overthrown or something. The Crusaders gets the ball. And then the Chiefs was, the Crusaders were trying to run the ball out. They got caught at the breakdown for not releasing, so Chiefs had another, gets the ball back for another penalty, and just as the 40 minute mark hits the clock, Chiefs decides to kick this on for 3 points. Going to halftime, amazingly, Chiefs were leading 12 points to 7 after 3 disallowed Crusaders tries and 2 missed penalties by Richie Mo'unga in before the halftime. So amazingly, Chiefs actually leading at halftime. I don't know how that's possible, but it was happening. Second half, the Chiefs really came out much better. D-Mac was looking like, looking like he's, sharpened up a little bit. So he gets the ball in the second half, 4 minutes in, essentially gets the ball just outside around the Crusaders 22-meter mark. He just put on the jet shoes, huge injection of speed into like 3 defenders, like into the gap 3 defenders. So you draw like 3 defenders, still got his left hand free, pops the loose to his, I think it was his winger, one of his support players, who ran down the sideline. And then as it was getting taken out, he threw the ball back in field to Brody Ritalik, who was in field in support line, gets the ball, runs in. 4 minutes into the second half, Chiefs gets their first try on the ball and really extending their leads to 19 points to 7. And then after this try was scored, there was a yellow card against the Chiefs, I think for repeated penalties, or I think it was a repeated penalty, or for collapsing the maul actually. Yeah, no. So the Crusaders gets themselves a penalty 52 minutes into the game. They kick the ball out for a 5-meter line out, and then they set up a maul. At this point, the Chiefs was already under a lot of penalty, giving away too many penalties already, was under a warning. So the Crusaders goes for the maul. It collapsed on the try line, and the referee gives a penalty try. And then they caught up the TMO and was given a yellow card to Luke Jacobson for collapsing the maul. So yeah, the Chiefs suddenly down a player and cost themselves a penalty try. The scoreboard now reads 19 points to 14. Now, within that 10 minutes, when there's a player down, the Chiefs are really under the pumps by the Crusaders. A lot of pressure. So Brendan Ennell, at 61 minutes in the game, Brendan Ennell gets the ball, like a nice little handling to the, gets the ball into the corner. He was about 5 meters away from the try line. He runs in. He got held by his legs. He's reaching over to try to dunk the ball down, and then D-Mac comes through, bumps him out to the sideline just before he could ground the ball. It was really, really nice tackle by D-Mac. Again, from missing a tackle, like one-on-one tackle against Fainga Nuku, to saving a try here was quite a huge effort for Damian McKenzie, just like a completely different player almost on the field. So D-Mac pumps him out, but the Chiefs, the Crusaders had advantage. They got another shot at it. And then basically like 1 or 2 phases later, the Crusaders got themselves in the exact same position. The ball goes out wide to Brendan Ennell once again, tries to go into the corner. This time the swooping player grabbed him by the legs and tried to drag him out, and Brendan Ennell throws the ball back in field. D-Mac was not there to cover this. The ball goes in back in field, and he ricocheted off one of the Chiefs players' chest, went straight into a Crusader player's hand. Burke gets the ball, grounds it, and suddenly the Crusaders are leading the Chiefs 21 points to 19. Yeah, with a conversion, Grisham Walker kicks his conversion, 21 points to 19. 68 minutes into the game, another scrum penalty against Joe Moody, and Chiefs takes another 3. Gets himself back ahead, 22 points to 21. A few minutes later, on the 70th minute, Crusaders gets a penalty for themselves. Richie Mwonga kicks this one, 24 points to 22. Crusaders gets himself back in front. And then 72 minutes into the game, Damian McKenzie once again carves up the Chiefs defense once again. And then eventually there was some good hands from the Chiefs team. Gets Sean Stevenson in for another Chiefs try. Suddenly the scoreboard is opened up to 27-24. The D-Mac misses the conversion. But yeah, the game kind of was really close, going both ways. And finally, the Crusaders, just before the game was about to end, had a scrum just in front of their own try line. Big scrum from the Chiefs this time. They don't need Joe Moody to get penalized. They just huge shove and wins the tight head this time. So the Chiefs gets a penalty right in front of the Crusaders try line on the 80th minute mark. And then the Chiefs decides to attack with this penalty. And just quick balls. The forward just piles in, pick and go. And eventually Thompson picks up the ball, drives himself over for the 3rd try for the Chiefs. And suddenly, David McKenzie kicks this one through right from the sideline, 34 points to 24. And suddenly the Chiefs, suddenly the Chiefs found themselves leading the Crusaders by 10. And yeah, D-Mac kicks the ball over, the hooter goes off, and that was the end of the game. The Crusaders did not get a chance to come back and finish off with the bonus, losing bonus point. But yeah, really, really strong finish by the Chiefs team. Like, just really, putting in those championship minutes to win the tight match, to really, having them in, like when they got that penalty, the scrum penalty, they could easily gone for 3 points, right? With about 2 minutes left. But if they're going for 3 points, they would have given the Crusaders a shot to win the game on the other end from the kickoff. So they wanted to really close out the game. They trusted themselves to score the try, and they piled in with the forwards, and they managed to get the try, and then denied the Crusaders an opportunity for a kickoff. Yeah, it was really well executed for the Chiefs to win this one. And wow, this was a really, really good match as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts about this test match. Not test match. Almost felt like a test match. Yeah, let me know your thoughts, and like, comment, subscribe. And do you think Damian McKenzie should be the number 10 for the All Blacks going to Rugby World Cup? Maybe try him out. Sir Fozzie, try him for the Rugby Championship. And if he doesn't work, you can go back to Richie Mwanga or Bowden Barrett for the Rugby World Cup. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. And thanks for watching. Cheers.